Welcome, everyone. Dr. Jamie Perkins, and I'm really excited to get us started on the first episode of the DVMoms podcast. I have a couple of people here that probably don't need any introductions. You guys have known them in the group for years, but Dr. Jordan Gesimondo and Dr. Kim Bishop are both here tonight to talk a little bit about the group and some of the things that we have coming for DVM Moms. So I'm going to start with kind of the first question that we have for everybody, and I'm going to kick this one to Jordan. And Jordan, I really just want to know a little bit about you, a little bit of your background, and why did this group even get started?
Okay, so let's see. I don't even know. Okay. I started this group back in early 2016. I had my first kid in August of 2015 and felt alone and lost in the field. Just kind of felt like we were struggling, and my friend Megan felt the same way, and we're like, well, why don't we just start a Facebook group for some of our close friends? Like, we went to CSU, so we know some people in our class that have had kids and whatnot, so we'll just find a way to connect with them and make it so it doesn't feel so isolated. And next thing you knew, it's 8 years later. Our group of really small friends, almost 9 years later, actually, our group of really small friends is now a group of 20,000 people. So it's been a crazy ride.
And Jordan, yeah. I don't think you could have necessarily, I don't think you necessarily could have anticipated this kind of size to this group. I mean, what does that really kind of, looked like, quite frankly? I mean, when you started this and thought it was a couple of friends that were going to be in there for a support group, and now it's this.
Well, it was quite unexpected. And honestly, this was back when Facebook was not nearly as sophisticated as it is. Like, being in a Facebook group, especially a large Facebook group, it wasn't what it was. It wasn't what it is today, where there's membership questions and moderating tools and all of that stuff. So the group grew so fast, just out of nowhere. And now suddenly we're overwhelmed and isolated being a mom. And now we're overwhelmed with this Facebook group and being a mom. And we were just trying to figure out how to help people and how just to navigate this. And I mean, I remember Kim and we would spend hours upon hours upon hours of our time reading messages, admitting people, messaging people personally, posting anonymously. I mean, it was insane.
Yeah, I joined within the first 100 members, which is funny because I didn't go to CSU. I went to Texas A&M. So I don't even know how that connection happened over time, but it just blew up. And Jordan and Megan kept posting things like, we're trying really hard to admit your friends as you send them. Please have them send us this information and all of this. And so I reached out to them and was like, hey, let me help. I'd be happy to take over helping with this. And that was back in the days that we actually would message each person individually when they asked to join, and ask what amounts to the membership questions now, like, hey, who are you? Do you have a kid? Are you a vet for reals? And so we did that individually, message by message by message, 9 years ago. And Facebook has grown to do some of that in a slightly more automated fashion now. But that was when I came on board. And then, in the 8 years since then, Jordan and I have just poured our hearts and souls and time into this event. Like, if you asked my daughter what I do, she would tell you that I have 3 jobs. I run my own mobile vet practice. I work at a brick and mortar hospital so that I can do surgery and see some longtime patients that I don't want to let go of. And I do DVM moms. So I have 3 jobs, and I love this one.
Well, and Kim, I mean, I would ask you the same question because, I mean, you jumped in there and, you've been here from the beginning as well. did you ever envision anything like this as far as the size?
No, it was a huge surprise. I mean, every time I look at the number and it's 1,000 people higher than I remember it being, I'm blown away. Like, it was, 16,000 and then 19,000, and now it's 20.3 the last time I looked. So it's another several hundred more than it was a few weeks ago, even, it seems like. So it's still growing crazy fast, which is awesome. It tells us that it's needed, and people needed this space to talk about the really unique concerns and intersections of being everything that is a veterinarian and everything that is a mom, because it's a different place than either of those things individually.
Yeah. And really, I can see, I know this isn't part of the question, but thinking about the last 9 years and where our profession was and how they treated, how moms, and we're not, the thing about DVM moms is, yes, we're mom centric, but we're for everybody, because anybody, I mean, just because you're not a mom doesn't mean you're not a caretaker, doesn't mean you don't have a family and a family life. And we see it as a benefit for everybody. But just thinking back, and I don't know, you guys probably have noticed too, but 9 years ago, there was no support. There was no place to pump at conferences. There was, I mean, the changes of the last 8-9 years have been, like, when you really step back and think about it, have been crazy.
Yeah. And I mean, to a certain extent, like, a rising tide lifts all ships. Like, taking care of moms in the workplace takes care of daughters in the workplace. It takes care of dads in the workplace. It takes care of sisters and brothers in the workplace, because once you start treating employees like people who have concerns outside of the clinic walls, it applies to everybody, and everybody benefits from that.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I have to agree. I mean, I joined this group probably about 2017, so it had been up for a little bit, and was a member long before joining the admin team. Huge admiration for the things that you guys had been doing for years, and I completely agree. I mean, one of the things that I love to see in the group is when people are coming in and asking questions of, my tech or my husband or my business partner said, ask the moms. There's a lot of information and a lot of education that really comes from this group. And because of the number of veterinarians that are in there and the type of community that you guys have built for so many years, other people have really gotten a lot out and really know to even ask that it's a resource, because it's not like we have dads in the group per se, but they still know to come and ask the group. And I was going to say earlier, when we saw Fia kind of jump into the corner, and, Kim, you were talking about your daughter as well. I think that's one of the other great things is we've been able to watch your families, quite frankly, grow up for years. And you guys have really pioneered a lot of ways for other people to feel comfortable sharing that information about their kids and the challenges that their kids are going through, whether that's in school or behavior or medical issues. And I personally think that you guys have brought so much to the veterinary community through the years by being able to do that and create this safe space, honestly, for other people to feel that they could do the same. I know you guys hear that from some of the members, but as someone who came into the admin team, I just felt like I'd be remiss to not also say it in this one. I think that the inception of this was such a great idea, and it's grown so much. And that's something that I'd really kind of ask you guys to expand on a little bit more. It's changed throughout the years in terms of what Facebook has done and the size, but what has that really looked like for this group?
So as weird as it is, I guess, to say it this way, it feels like the growth of a family in a lot of ways. Like, we pour out our, deepest, darkest feelings and secrets and time, and we get really vulnerable with each other in the group about emotional things and family things and medical things and all of that. And, like, do we fight? Like, absolutely, because especially as moms, we have people who come in who are pregnant and going through all of those hormonal changes, which, as you know, can be rough. And then we have people who are postpartum and going through all of those hormonal changes, and that can be rough. And people get their toes stepped on and they get upset. But by and large, we circle back around and we come back together. And when someone has a real problem, the group jumps in to help in really amazing ways. Like we've seen them support families with moms with cancer, with kids with cancer, with other important medical needs, with the natural disasters that have been happening recently. People have jumped in to help each other with that. It's been a really special thing to see.
Yeah. Sorry if you hear my dog barking in the background and my whole family trying to make dinner.
Without a kid and a dog.
But yeah, Kim and Jamie don't even
notice, don't even hear it.
Some people watching might. Yeah, I agree with all of that. We are kind of like a dysfunctional family, and there are highs and lows. I mean, we've been through some stuff together, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
COVID. I mean, is there anything more that can bring you together more than trying to work and homeschool your kids on a computer? Like, I mean, the fact that we even were able to get through that and had each other to help. And I mean, we've been through just all sorts of ups and downs and things that kind of cause turmoil in the group because not everybody agrees on things. And that's been hard. But at the end of the day, if someone needs something, the moms will rally. And I'm talking like, it doesn't matter where you are. If you have a kid in college in Michigan and you live in California and they're having an issue, there will be moms there and they will take care of that kid.
Yeah. And like we've had members who are like, I'm stranded on the side of the highway in the middle of nowhere with a flat tire. And like a mom has been like, I'm 20 minutes away. I'm on my way.
Yeah.
I'll come get you and get you off the highway. And like, I love that stuff.
Mm-hmm. And you, Jamie, you were stuck in a wildfire.
Huge wildfire that PPS was not leading me out of that, in the middle of the night, trying to figure out back roads with, enough gas to hopefully get to the next, gas station, because who knew where that honestly was when GPS wasn't finding anything. And it was the same thing. A mom just threw her cell phone number up on the group, said, give me a call. I'm in the area. I can tell you what the back roads are. I can tell you what random street sign doesn't actually exist. And it's going to be a barrel by the side of the road. Look for this one. It has a dent in it. Turn there. Promise it's a real road. And it was one of those that we were never going to drive out of it without instruction like that. We would have been backtracking another probably 4 to 6 hours to go through major cities without help. So I was super grateful. And I love seeing it in the group. I mean, some of my favorite posts, not that I don't feel for the children who, have lost items or their parents are trying to replace things, but it's seeing that community really jump in when a mom says, my child lost their blanket or they really want this Christmas present. And you just watch hundreds of moms jump in and say, how can I help you find this or find a replacement? Or I know a seamstress who's local to me who can make something that's a replacement for this. And you just see complete strangers really come together. I mean, we have a common bond that we're vets and we're moms, but a lot of us have never actually met in person and we don't really talk to one another outside of this Facebook group, but yet they come together and they do it in a way that you may not do for other strangers that you really didn't know.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
I think it keeps the group together. I mean, it's been a really interesting to watch, and it's nice on this side of it now and being able to help with some of those, but I only stepped into this side of it because I saw, what it really was for so many years. So that being said, I mean, now that this thing is huge, we talked about, we didn't expect it to be this huge. What's kind of been the biggest learning curve for everybody now that it is this size?
I think for me, it's learning to balance a lot of different feelings and a lot of different opinions and trying to find ways to do the most good and the least harm. And we do our best every day. We err sometimes because we are human, but this community and these people are my passion project. DVM Moms is who I love, and I would do anything at any time for any one of those 20.3 thousand people. If they needed something, I would be there. And I think that's true of the vast majority of our membership, but I know it's true out of every one of our admin team. And I think that's been the hardest part for me, is figuring out how to balance that, and also trying not to take it personally when people do get their feelings hurt and kind of lash back out, because hurt people. And like this is like another child to me in a lot of ways. And so when people call it ugly names, it's hard not to take that personally, but I have learned over time that that's not about me as a person, and that I still think the good that we do outweighs that. And I know the good intention that we all have and that we all pour into this. And so I think that's been the hardest part for me.
That's exactly it. We didn't really, we went into this looking for support, not realizing that, I mean, anytime you have 20,000 people together, there are going to be arguments. We've been through some heated political times, some, heated elections, just social issues. I mean, just so many different things. And we have people on, in all walks of life with all sorts of different opinions, and they're all in one place on Facebook. And of course, it's easier to say things on Facebook, and some things get heated, and we have to moderate that. And it's been a big learning curve on how to do that. And we try to mitigate things by, certain topics aren't allowed because they're always heated. But no matter what you do in this role as an admin, people are going to hate you. People are going to disagree with you. They're going to be mad. They might not hate you, but they're going, or they might. They may send you
hate flowers,
for example.
Glitter bombs, Kim? Jordan would love some glitter bombs.
I mean, we laugh about it, but like when you're moderating something and you're trying to be fair to all sides, that's when you have the most people mad at you. Mm-hmm. And that's one thing that I personally, and I think I can speak for all of the admin moderator team, we've had to deal with and get thicker skin. We in the vet field are passionate people by nature. We are passionate people by nature as mothers. It's a combo, and we have a very strong group of people that can change the world. But those same feelings sometimes get upset and also are very strong, so it's kind of trying to use our forces for good, like they're intended, Uh-huh. People have bad days, and we have to not let that affect us personally and our mission.
Uh-huh.
It's tough. I mean, as one of the ones who came in newer, you both have gotten some phone calls from me of doing the right thing here, some tears. Uh-huh. It definitely is something that requires a thick skin. I have to really agree and echo what that is. And it's because you're trying so hard. And I think a lot of it, it's almost like when we're out in practice, right? You're trying so hard, and just the ones that you just can't get through for whatever reason, whether it's finances or the time or whatever it happens to be. And they stick with you. And these are people on the other side of this. So when you're dealing with these situations coming uh-huh. through, I mean, I can't tell you anybody, quite frankly, how many late night phone calls Jordan got from me in the beginning, listening to, are you sure I'm even doing the right thing? Because I'm not really sure here.
Like, this is normal. It's a Tuesday.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Writing out my first election with you guys, I have to say, there's a big learning curve on that many opinions, because like you said, when you have that many people, you're going to get both sides of everything and different perspectives and different backgrounds, and trying to take all of that into account for everyone. And then being able to communicate that, when I feel like the other challenge that we have, right, is that we're trying to communicate it while also dealing with Facebook's algorithm that wants to stop certain information and only certain people get to see it. And, you know, then it comes secondhand, and now we're playing a game of telephone. It's definitely fun at times.
That's one of the big challenges of having 20,000 people is we're truly at the mercy of Facebook's algorithm. And, you know, we'll have people come to us saying, look, nobody commented on my post. And it was really, really important. And normally people jump on that and comment. And then someone else posts something completely trivial and it has 500 comments, you know, in 5 minutes. And that's the Facebook algorithm. And so we'll tell those people, okay, delete your post and try to post again at a certain time and to get more traffic. And it's just, with that many people, it's a struggle.
Yeah, because we get, 150 to 230 posts a day, which is a lot. And Facebook absolutely will not tell you what they use in their algorithm to boost some things and suppress other things, because I've asked. I've been the one of us that has tried to do a lot of the kind of behind the scenes Facebook admin things. Like, Facebook runs groups for admins, and I'm in those to seek feedback from Facebook and to suggest new features and things like that. I've done several interviews with Facebook about what we like about some features and what we don't like about other features. I'm working on like a certification with Facebook to try to understand this platform so that we can use it to support our community the best. But they won't tell us, and they change it periodically. So what used to work doesn't necessarily work anymore. And that's been an interesting challenge to negotiate. And, you know, we're moderating things personally through trying to read those 150 to 230 posts a day. But also there are these Facebook robots in the background that just pull down seemingly random things, honestly, as far as I can tell. And we can dispute them, and we do. Although often they won't even tell us really what they pulled down. Just so-and-so's comment was pulled down for incitement of violence or goes against our standards on nudity. We get that one a lot. And it's usually like pictures of guts. Just so you know.
It doesn't like surgery very much.
Facebook does not like surgery. So we try our best to work within the bounds of the platform. And that's a constant learning curve that is an always moving goalpost. Because as soon as I think I have it down, Facebook updates and it's totally different.
Yeah.
So fun.
Even as admins, we don't get bumped up in the algorithm at all. So when we're trying to get an important message out to the people in our group, a lot of times it doesn't happen. And that's super frustrating. On our part.
Yeah. When we're trying to post admin messages, they don't necessarily get out. I mean, I posted a case yesterday and I got 2 comments. Like, it happens to us too. I will say in general, the best ways to rise to the top of the algorithm are to interact in the group. Facebook does promote the posts of people who comment on other people's posts and who post regularly, and are friends with people in the group and whatnot. So the more interactive you are, the more Facebook wants you to interact. So I know a lot of us lurk and read and click the like button, but actual interaction increases your presence with the algorithm too.
So in the interest of time, just to get this first, kind of episode out there and for people to kind of meet us a little bit, I'm just going to end this with, do you guys have any advice for the members? Is there anything you just want to share that you feel like they should really know about the group, about you, about the background, any of it, honestly?
I guess I would say that we're all on the same team and we're a strong force to be reckoned with. And when our goal has always been to change the profession for the better. And some days it doesn't seem like we're doing that. Some days it just seems like this is just not, not working. But at the end of the day, like, our members are, quite frankly, I mean, they're the backbone of at least my career. Honestly, I don't know where I would be without them. We came to this group for support, and then we've had, learned how to support other people through it as well. But I mean, the members and, everybody watching this, the members just mean the world. I know they've helped me personally, emotionally, mentally, just so many times. That's what I would say. And then going forward, like, we can move mountains if we work together, and that's the plan.
Yeah, I would say my thing that I want members to know is that I love you guys, all of you, even when you're mean to me. And I'm trying really hard. I don't want to ever be mean to anyone, and know that we do this because we love DVM moms, and we want to make the world shine for you and with you, because each and every one of you is amazing and changing your own little corner of the world, and we can just change the whole damn thing if we do it together.
Yep. And we've come a long way.
We have, and we will.
Yeah.
Keep pushing. Yep.
For everybody, not just moms.
Yeah.
No, for the industry. I mean, I would kind of piggyback with a lot of the same sentiment. I have been very proud to be not only a member, but now be on the admin team with this group. It really has been around from the time that I've been out of veterinary school. It's something that I've learned a lot from. I've learned a lot from the members. I work with a lot of corporate groups right now, and I really champion the message about just how many smart, just beyond intelligent, strong women are in this group. And I think it's just, quite frankly, a force to be reckoned with in this industry. I mean, the changes that have happened, but also the things that are coming down the pipeline through DVMoms, and even with, individual moms, and the things that they're doing for this industry are just phenomenal. And I hope people know that, because we see a lot of the little flare-ups and the little things, and we deal with a lot of stuff. But overall, I think the group has just been such a fantastic resource. And the other thing that I would really share as we kind of conclude this one is, the admin team is there and they're available. I mean, some people reach out to us, they reach out to individual admins, or they reach out to the admin account. But I mean, we spend so many hours in the evenings, on the weekends, talking through things, talking through situations, figuring out what to do, trying to figure out things for the group. And if you guys need anything, just reach out and ask. I mean, we're all pretty good about getting back to stuff if we're tagged in things, or if we get PMs. Sometimes we're working or we're dealing with their own family lives, but I feel like for the most part, if somebody's busy and can't take one of them, they immediately turf it to another admin. So if you guys need anything, this is only part of the team. There's more of us. We just didn't want to have a massive thing tonight with so many faces that you couldn't recognize everybody, but just reach out and let us know.
Yeah, we're here to help.
Well, I think that's the first episode. So, yay, we got through one, and hopefully it wasn't terrible for anybody that was listening or watching. And if you need us, you know how to find us.